Come here. Get off. Hey y'all, welcome to this week's episode of The Turn On. Today we're reading Push the Button by Feminsta Jones, which was published in 2014. Sit back, relax, get your wine, get your weed, get all your stuff, your accoutrements, and enjoy.
Push the Button by Feminsta Jones. I want to see you. Though the words could be taken as a request or a simple expression of his wants, she knew that they were heavier than that. 5 typed words, 1 command, sent via text message, and she had but a few minutes to comply completely. It did not matter that it was 4:07 a.m. or that she'd been deeply asleep for at least 5 hours. She knew that keeping her phone under her pillow was necessary as he could summon her at any moment, and she had to be available, ready, and willing to do whatever was asked of her. She groggily rolled off of the side of her bed, stumbling over her shoes, then regaining her composure and made her way to the bathroom. She splashed water in her face, removing remnants of her nightly facial mask, brushed her teeth, removed her scarf, and fluffed her hair a bit. Staring briefly at her reflection, she thought, this will have to do. She turned on her computer, and while it booted up, she went to the kitchen to grab a bottle of water. She glanced at the clock, 4:14 a.m. Not bad. She hurried to the couch and signed on to Skype. Within 30 seconds, her screen flashed with an incoming call. Good morning, beautiful girl. She smiled at his greeting and put her headphones in. For some reason, listening to his voice through her earbuds made her feel closer to him. She sat up straight, stared at his chest, and noticed that he wore no shirt. She could see the chest hair she'd fallen asleep against many times before. She felt familiar warmth slowly begin to spread across her skin. You may speak. She continued to look at his chest, having not yet received permission to make eye contact. Good morning, sir. It is an honor to be at your service. May I ask how you are? You may. How are you, sir? How was your day? Is there anything I can do for you at this time? I'm well. My day was long, rather exhausting. Look up. She raised her eyes without hesitation, meeting his sleepy but focused gaze. I'm being pulled in so many ways at work. I know I can handle it, but some days it's just too much. I must have clocked 15 hours today. Oh, sir, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know you've been dealing with a lot at work lately, and I hate that it's overwhelming you this way. How can I help you in this moment? It would help if you follow my instructions and appeared on screen prepared, he began, a tinge of frustration in his voice. I've mentioned this before, so you're not unaware. Have you forgotten? Lost your rule book? What? She felt the chills of disappointment prickle down her spine. In her sleepy disorientation, she'd forgotten to fully remove her clothing and attach her collar. The last time she'd gone to sleep with the collar on because he demanded she do so. This time it was beside her bed in the drawer of her nightstand. Get it. She scurried to her bedroom and withdrew her collar. She hastily fastened it to her neck and ran back to her computer. I don't remember telling you to put it on. Take it off. Now. You think you deserve to wear my collar right now? Never mind. Don't answer that. I don't want to hear a word. The bite of the last word forced her eyes to cast downward, shamed. Embarrassed, she removed the collar and held it in her hands. Her thumbs nervously rubbed over the ridges in the leather. She received the purple collar on her birthday 9 months prior. After a year of training and service, she received her most coveted prize, his collar. She'd known better than to ask for it, but several times during any given week, she would catch herself fingering her neck longingly. When not with her friends in the life, she would often feel tinges of jealousy while looking at their beautiful collars. She would only hope that her submission pleased him sufficiently and that he would, one day, bestow upon her his symbol of ownership. When he took her out for her birthday during a walk in the park after dinner, he surprised her with the collar. He sat her down on a bench, stood behind her, and clasped it around her neck, whispering only, "You're mine." It was one of the best nights of her life, and she cherished his gift and his appreciation of her. She never wanted to disappoint him, but there were times, like this, when she faltered and made simple mistakes. "I'm sorry, she began. "Don't be sorry. Do what I ask of you and prepare yourself accordingly when I summon you. It's rather simple, actually. Do as you're told. Look up." She looked up and met his eyes, this time seeing a smile. She didn't immediately understand where the smile came from, but she felt comforted, and that was enough for her for the moment. "Take off your clothes." This was not a new request, and she knew very well what he wanted when he commanded it. He enjoyed her slow movements, never breaking eye contact, focused, deliberate, dancing on the bridge between coy sensuality and gratuitous sexuality. She was wearing an ivory satin push-up bra and white boy shorts, so she didn't have much to remove. She reached behind her back and gingerly unhooked the latches of her bra. She then delicately hooked the index finger of her right hand under the left strap and guided it down her shoulder. She did the same for the other side, never breaking eye contact. She watched him shift in his seat a few times, which she recognized as the onset of his arousal. She was pleasing him. "Show me." She fully removed the bra and cupped her breasts. They weren't overly large, but not small either. They were a full C-cup, and he deemed them perfect for his taste. When he made this simple command, she knew that he meant that she was to present them to him, playfully and sensually. So she began massaging her breasts and rolling the nipples in between her thumbs and index fingers. Nice. She watched him lean back in his chair and slowly place his hand atop his groin area. She could see slight twitches in his boxer briefs, but dared not let her enjoyment of his new predicament show on her face because he could read her so well. She lifted her left breast toward her mouth, preparing to suck the nipple when he stopped her. "Where's your toy? Go get it. Now." She rushed to her bedroom again, opened the same drawer, and pulled out her lilac G-spot vibrator. She hurried back to her computer and looked at the screen. She saw that he removed his boxer briefs and was holding himself, slowly stroking back and forth, up and down. She knew what he needed. She sat back on her couch and lay back, spreading her legs. Push the button. She turned on the vibrator and it began to buzz in her hands. She looked up at him, meeting his eyes again. "Sir, may I play with myself?" "Yes. Do what I need you to do, what you need to do." Angling herself for a better view, she began to move the vibrator along the outer lines of her vagina. It slid in easily as she was naturally well lubricated. With her left hand, she spread the lips wider, and with her right hand, she massaged herself with a lilac-colored device. With every movement, she slipped deeper into the moment and allowed herself more enjoyment of it. At least he'd given her permission to do so this time. He told her to do what she needed to do, and she proceeded to do just that. She broke eye contact with him when her own eyes began to roll back into her head. Her hips slowly began to gyrate to the rhythm her hand and toy had started. After a few minutes and at least 3 low groans from him, she inserted the toy inside. "Yes, baby girl, that's it. Show me. Good girl. Make my pussy come for me. Now." Hearing the urgency in his voice, she knew he was not far off from his own release, and she knew he needed her to give him the visual stimulation he needed to get over and release completely. Making him come was one of her greatest pleasures. To be able to serve him in such a way, cater to his pleasure, she felt so lucky and honored to be the one he chose and to be the source of his pleasure. She widened her legs and pushed the toy deeper until it hit her spot. She knew it would be any second now. She moaned once, and then again, and finally a low, guttural, raw sound came from her throat as she felt the wave of an intense orgasm take over her body. She felt her body jerk as her back arched, and just then, her body released its juices and she squirted them all over her keyboard, some of it hitting the screen. She knew better than to be embarrassed by this, though, because he loved every drop that came from her. She opened her eyes just in time to see him making his final feverish strokes as he erupted into a handful of tissues he had. She hated to see his cum go to such waste, but what could she do? Did I please you, sir? Oh, yes. Yes, baby girl. You were fantastic. You always are. She beamed with pride despite her temporary weariness. Good girl. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to be of service to you. She lowered her head again, gathered her belongings. She'd clean it up tomorrow. She was too tired now. Nicole. She looked up, having heard her birth name. She saw his hand extended, open palm, toward the camera. Yes, David. I love you so much. And I adore you, my love. You are so fucking beautiful. I wish you could have come on this trip with me. I know, honey. I'll be home Friday. I can't wait. You may put your collar on. Sleep well with it until then. Okay, I will. She blew him a kiss and signed out of Skype. She padded back to her bed and stretched her limbs a bit to work out the kinks from their awkward positioning during their session. She lay down and heard the notification ring on her phone. And she glanced at it and saw a text from him. You are mine. She typed the only response he needed and expected. Always. So you just heard us reading Feminsta Jones, Push the Button.
So the part of the story that we read was the opening scene in the story. This is a much longer chapter book, and I highly encourage everyone to actually read the entire book.
Yeah, because it's not at all what you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
The story is really interesting.
It definitely turns into something else.
Yeah.
And word on the street is there will be a part 2 soon. So I'm very excited to see what the part 2 will look like, considering the conversation we had with the author.
Which you'll hear next week.
And knowing her developments.
Yes.
So I actually really like this because it drew me in immediately with the I want to see you part.
You're like, who wants to see who? Why?
Yeah, like what's about to happen? And there's something about a woman willingly submitting to someone where it's kind of like how if you find out people are paying a whole lot for a particular something, you're like, ooh, that must be good if they're paying all that kind of money.
So you're like, he must actually have some good dick if she's willing to go through this shit.
If she's willing to do all this submissive shit, wake up in the middle of the night and stuff. I mean, maybe not necessarily for just dick, because as we say, dick is abundant and low in value.
Low in value, Lord.
But yeah, it was the book. The story definitely drew me in from the beginning. And I liked it. It's interesting seeing that kind of power.
Yeah, that
play,
dynamic.
Act out. We'll kind of get into it, but well, maybe we won't get into it. I'll just open it up now. In relationships, in life, I'm a very dominant person. And so I want to be a submissive person in relationships. However...
I'm sorry.
You're laughing?
Bitch. Okay.
No, I want to be a submissive.
In relationships or in sex?
Sex and relationships.
Okay.
I want to. The problem is I don't quite know if the DNA makeup of me
allows for that shit.
Allows for that to happen.
Yeah.
So, and... See, now we're about to get into some whole therapy type shit.
Yeah.
But I feel
it's
like...
never just sex, right?
Right. So I feel like in relationships, I desire to be submissive. And so I find myself throwing my submission to men that aren't
worthy of said submission.
Yeah, you can't.
And then that's how you
lead.
get all
can't
fucked
follow
up.
where a nigga can't actually lead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so now you're struggling, you know, and so now it's like, how do you play that line? So to me, this story reads like a fantasy because it's like, wow, like,
Yeah, you can trust this nigga this much.
she got a she's got a dominant that's really doing the shit a dominant is supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I actually really like it because, like I said, I crave to be a submissive in a relationship.
What is it
However,
about that attracts you? Like, why do you want to be submissive in a relationship?
because I want to turn my brain off. I don't want to have to think about shit. I am perfect. But again, I find myself being a dominant person because I know I can trust myself.
Yeah, you're
I know I
competent.
can depend on myself.
Right.
I know that if shit go left, Erica can make it happen. And it'll be really great to hand that over to someone.
Yeah.
And I think this also has a lot to do with the, you know, just the whole gender roles and growing up and, you know, having this ideal gender, having in my mind ideal gender roles. But yeah, that would be really great. And so, like, to me, this is like a fantasy because it's like, wow, like, this shit is working well. But it's like, how does this really play out in real life?
Right. I mean, it's interesting to me. I like the story. I do, on some levels, I like the idea of
No,
being
you're just a sadist.
submissive.
You enjoy.
I enjoy pain.
Yeah, you enjoy.
Yeah.
So I've been reading a lot about submission and all of that. And so in this book I read, they essentially broke it down into like 3 buckets.
Okay.
The first bucket being a bottom. And bottoming, for the purposes of the book, and I'm probably fucking it up,
and y'all will
please
let us
correct
know.
us. But bottoming is enjoying receiving pain in sexual situations only. So it's like, I can bottom, but when this scene is over, nigga, go make some pancakes.
Right.
And then there is the role of the submissive, who is maybe not necessarily a bottom, but takes direction from his or her, their dom in the relationship.
Okay.
And so it's like, make sure my drink is fixed when I get home, or my coffee is prepared this particular
Did you
way.
see how big my eyes
You should
just
see
got?
Henria's
Woo!
face right now.
Nigga.
To me, that's a
Make
turn
sure
on.
what? I'm not your mama.
See, yeah, to me that's a turn on. And then there's a slave, which is like, nigga, you ain't got no choice in this. You gonna do what I tell you, when I tell you, sex, whatever, you know.
Gotcha.
And it's also in the book. It was also, and I'll reference it once I remember what it was. But in the book, it was also important to note that the power in being a submissive is that you are giving
Right.
your
You're
power
trusting
to
them
this
and you're
person.
giving it to them.
It's a
Right.
gift.
Yeah.
And the power in that is that you can take that shit back anytime, you know? So I think you're a bottom and not a submissive at all. Like,
That makes more sense.
fix
to
your
me.
face. Like,
Well, but it's interesting because I don't want it to sound like I don't do for my partners, because that's obviously not the case. But, you know, I have dealt with codependency for so long where the way that looked was that I would put myself out. You know, I would do harm to myself in order to help other people, particularly men who didn't fucking deserve it. Like, as we were talking about, trying to follow behind niggas that don't know how to lead, and putting myself in sometimes fucking in like real ass peril, right? In the case of abuse and things like that, because I was trying to meet the needs of someone else and subjugating my own needs. And so I've come through that, right, with the help of lots of therapy. Shout out to therapy. And I ain't going back. So now it's this really interesting balance of, you know, when we're just out here living our lives in a relationship, of making sure that there is a balance. And I don't even like to think of it as power, but a balance of doing for each other, so that it doesn't feel like one person is always doing for the other. Because I'm partnered right now with someone who's as sweet as I am and who has often found himself in that situation where he was the person who was doing everything for everyone. And so it's been kind of cool to see how we navigate that as both of us being that type of person. And it almost is like a competition to see who can do the sweetest thing for each other. But we do it, don't roll your eyes at me, bitch. But we do it in the context of we're not hurting ourselves to do it. And it's healthy. It's the first time I've been in a healthy, you know what I mean, situation like that. But when it comes to sex, I'm like,
it's okay to hurt a little bit.
Yes, do that. I literally will say, yeah, you need to suck that like you're trying to hurt me. And like, and he does it. And that is what works for me. And so it's interesting because I'm still telling him what to do in that instance. But also it's because I enjoy the pain of it. So I don't quite know with that.
Well, I think as you guys continue to partner.
You hate that word.
I know. As you continue to partner, you will learn each other. And so it'll be a little more just shit'll happen.
Oh, well, no, the stuff already just happened. But, you like to do some new stuff. You got to
get
some direction.
But two, I think it's just important about knowing yourself, your partner knowing you, and shit, if this is the person you're with, like, they should understand that you have it. Like, ideally for me, I will be in a situation with a dominant that understands that I have a history of codependency and will care and do just as much to look out for that as I will.
Right.
And also,
and that's someone who you can trust to lead you.
Yeah. And also I think that it's important to remember that your service should not be to the detriment of who you are, And I think that's like, if there's anything that I learned in this whole codependency journey is that Lord. Codependency is putting yourself at harm to help somebody else. And I think
so often Black women do that. It's what we're taught to do that as little girls.
Yeah.
We're socialized to, put everybody else's needs before our own. And that's why I always hate that strong Black woman shit. Because I'm like, we were literally just having a conversation about this. Like, we are taught that we should not feel pain, or at least if we feel it, we shouldn't express it. We for damn sure shouldn't tell people that we're hurting. And it leads to us not ever feeling like we can really be vulnerable, whether it's when we're having sex, or it's when we're in, talking to our friends, or when we're trying to be in a relationship, an intimate relationship with somebody.
And if you can't express that whole range of emotions, like if I can't express to my partner deep pain and deep sorrow, I think it's also difficult for you to express extreme joy and extreme happiness. I feel like you should be able to express all of those emotions
and feel them all, right? Because oftentimes it's like you can't even feel that shit. Like, so my kid is well, first of all, she's a Gemini like you, so
ding, ding, ding,
take
ding,
that
ding,
how
ding,
y'all want
ding,
to.
ding, ding, ding.
But that's
a Gemini theme song.
Dramatic as hell. But so she'll be having, a reaction that to me as an Aries, who is like, okay, girl, is overblown. But I tell her all the time, the first thing I always say is, it's okay to feel that. You can sit here and you can have those feelings, feel all of that emotion. And then when you're ready, we can talk about it. Like, I never tell her that it's wrong to feel a way, because for so long, I think I was told that in ways both explicit and implicit.
Yeah. I was with this guy and going through my shit, going through my emotions. And he just sat down, looked me dead in the eye, and was like, you were so fucking emotional. He was like, I'm not used to it, but I'm going to deal with it. And I appreciate you for it. And I was just like, this is sexy. See, I found it sexy. because again, it's just like,
I guess relatively, like, have you experienced men who are like, oh, fuck, I can't, this is too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, people, like, not even men. Because again, I'm an emotional being. I will be very excited about going at 9 a.m. and then by 7, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather stay at home.
Yeah, we know.
Anyway, bitch, again, put your eyes back in your mouth. But nonetheless, so it's really like nice to have someone like, because I know it's a little off-putting to people when you're not used to such extremes in emotion.
Y'all feel things so deeply.
Exactly. And so for somebody to be like, yo, this shit is fucking wild, but I'm here for the ride and I appreciate it. It was just like,
that's pretty cool. And it wasn't well, I'll fuck with you anyway. You know what I mean?
It was just
was like, okay, this is what it is, and
this is what it is. I'm learning it.
Gotta adjust, but it's cool.
Exactly.
Okay, I dig that.
So yeah.
So you like to be submissive when you're having sex. I was gonna say in the bedroom, but who has sex in the bedroom? But
in the room.
Yes, in the room where it happens. But do you like to be submissive outside the room?
Yeah, I do, to an extent.
Can a nigga call you or text you at 4:14 and say, I want to see you?
If those are the established rules, yes.
Okay.
But see, the thing is, like, I was a kid growing up that, like, I clearly remember being at a birthday party in somebody's basement. And, like, you know how the little ghetto birthday party in somebody's basement.
Where they just put all the kids in the basement.
And I clearly remember looking around for emergency exits. Like, if some shit go down, how we getting out of here? Mm-hmm. And that's how I am in the context of, that's how I see myself being in the context of a submissive relationship. Okay. Haven't gotten there. But, you know, like, I am perfectly fine submitting because, one, I require a lot. So it's not like there's this like, oh, I submit and
right. It means that you're taking care of me on this
exactly
certain level. Right.
And so I'm kind of like it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like, okay, I'll submit. But the minute this shit start feeling weird or like you ain't got it, bruh, I'm out. Yeah. Deuces. Be like, no, nigga, let me tell you what you gonna do. So yeah, that's where I am with that. Like, it would definitely have to be established rules that, you know, we both agree upon and that kind of thing. But yeah, I would be fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd be okay with it. But again, like, you gotta hold shit down. Like, I gotta be taken care of in order. Because I feel like also submitting is me taking care of you. Mm-hmm.
Right, like how she was talking about she had to do what he needed and what she needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I am a very detail-oriented person.
Yes.
I have no problems with, in previous positions, I've served in roles where I was a number two to someone. Mm-hmm. The number one took care of the big picture, the vision, whereas I was responsible for executing. Mm-hmm. And those were like the most satisfying jobs that I've had.
Yeah, because you get shit done. You got shit you can tick off your to-do list.
Exactly. So you come back from a meeting and say, this is the direction we going in. I want 10 widgets. As long as I got 10 widgets, make that shit happen. Mm-hmm. That's how I see an ideal submissive relationship for me. Mm. You look at the big picture, you see where we going, setting that, and then look to me to take care of the details. But again, I have to be comfortable in you setting the major goal. So what about you? I mean, it's clear that you're not really willing to, I don't want to say willing to submit. Talk me through this.
I'm sitting here thinking about it. I mean,
because also knowing your background, I feel like there is this like reaction to, I'm so not gonna be this, I'm gonna completely run from it. And maybe I'm being a little too extreme. So talk me through your thoughts, how you're feeling on that.
I think some of my trepidation goes back to something you said earlier, which is that you are following somebody who is not really leading you anywhere. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I was married to a nigga who I should not have been married to, who wasn't leading us no fucking where, to be quite honest.
To
And
the
what
BET
ended
Awards.
Huh?
To the BET Awards. Bitch. Everybody's a rapper.
Everybody's a rapper. And I've always described myself as not necessarily an A type, but I forget what it's called. Like, I step up when I'm required to. I do not need to to run the show. I don't need to be out front. I like to be behind the scenes like you, just kind of getting shit done. And in relationships, what happen is that you know what? A good analogy. If there's a class project and we all have shit that we have to get done, if a natural leader emerges and handles the shit, I'm cool to just do my part and turn it in and keep it moving. But if nobody steps up, I will step into the role and I will do a great job at it. That's really how I treat relationships. And so in that marriage and a lot of other relationships I've been in, I've been kind of forced to step in the role because the man who I was with was not able to do it or not willing to do it or whatever. In the case of my ex, what I found out over the course of years was that he really did just want somebody to fucking take care of him. His mother had taken care of him for years. His sister had taken care of him for years.
And that's the thing. Like, it's difficult being comfortable with the person you're submitting to, because submission, I see submitting to a guy, not taking care of a nigga, but like, no, you have to be a strong person because you got both of us riding on your back. It's not just you.
And that was the thing. We were all riding on my back. And then it was like...
And then mad because the nigga riding on your back.
Exactly. You know, you got an attitude because I'm the one that's making the money. You got an attitude because I'm the one that's, you know, working and can't fuck around and do nothing with you and listen to you rap all the goddamn time. So eventually it got to the point where it just wasn't really sexy for me. I got to a point where I didn't really have a lot of respect for him, to be quite honest.
Oh, that's the worst.
And it wasn't even about gender roles, I don't think. I think it was more like, okay, cool. You're not the one that makes the money? Bet. Could you do something around the fucking house? Could you take the kid to do something so that I can get this work done and then we can all go out and have dinner together? Could you finish painting the fucking dining room that I ended up having to get up on the ladder and do that shit myself? And that was my thing. You ain't got to be the one taking out the trash and, you know, doing all of that. But you need to do something and then not be on my case about it. And so it got to the point where even if I had wanted to be submissive, there was no one to really submit to. I couldn't trust him to lead me any fucking where. And it spilled over into the bedroom and wherever else we was going to have sex because I wasn't wet for him no more.
Ugh.
Yeah. And so I think my fear is slipping back into a situation with anyone where I am doing all of the things and that if I attempt to be submissive, which is where I try to, I was making plates, I was doing all of that shit. And I don't have any problem with doing that. And I do that with my current partner, but it's because he is worthy of it.
Worthy. That is so, yeah.
And so while I don't think of it necessarily as being submissive in this relationship, it really does feel like an equal partnering, which is pretty fucking dope. And then in the bedroom, we just nasty. I can't even.
We just nasty.
I can't even label it. We do the stuff that he likes to do. We do the stuff that I like to do. There's no complaining. There is just a willingness to do all of the shit. And that just works for me, without a label. It just works really well for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, in the story, middle of the night, wake up, let me see you play with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do?
I would do it.
Computer love.
I have.
Okay.
I had a partner who was once, he was away for some kind of training, or this is the last time I can remember doing it. He was away for some kind of training. He was gone for 7 or 8 weeks or some shit, and we was both struggling. And so we literally did this, but it was with an app on my phone. And so I just propped the phone up. I had gotten like a little thing, like a little suction cup with a like how you have this tripod where you can attach it. Set that up, pulled out the toys. He put his headphones in, and I gave him a show. I got to come. He got to enjoy it. Fantastic. Good
I might have
times.
to look for that particular suction cup.
Oh,
thing.
it's in the Amazon cart or in the order in the. So we
Alright,
share a Amazon.
Yeah, we are those black people. We
We
share
are.
Amazon, Netflix. We're a shared economy.
Hulu. We
We
share
were-
everything.
We were Ubering before, well, not like that.
Yeah,
but, you
no,
know,
fuck Uber.
we were
but
Ubering before Uber was Uber.
Yes.
Living in the shared
the
economy.
share economy. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You?
Yeah. I do it all.
Wait, bitch, I just sent. You're going to be so proud of me. I don't think I told you
You sent
this.
nudes?
I sent my first nudes.
Oh my gosh. I have like literally like fucking vaults of that shit. Like vaults of that
Oh
shit.
my God.
Yeah. I do lots of my friend now is not here. And so we do lots of that shit. Videos, not Skype, FaceTime, videos, FaceTime, sending pictures. We have this great little app. It's a
That photo vault thing.
Oh yeah, we do
Yeah,
that.
I have that.
Well, I have that, but we don't have anything to put in it.
Well, no. See,
You take
that's
pictures while you're in the
sending
act,
stuff. I'm
too?
about to say, I've made videos.
Oh, yeah,
and
we
then
do lots
save that
of-
on my phone,
Yeah,
and then we can rewatch it later.
I
we
think
like
I'm
to
my
watch
own
ourselves.
Jenna Jameson.
Yeah. But as far as sending things,
Yeah, you don't
I've
send it.
never felt comfortable because I had like pictures stolen from me
I know.
before.
And
So
that's
I
the thing.
Kind
I
of
have
skittish about it.
I have so much shit out there
That you like, fuck it.
that I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I mean, the thing is, everybody got them, and I got a good body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got a little good, but fuck it.
Girl, who
Somebody
don't?
like it. Niggas from the South like it. Where was I going with
You said that you have no problems with it, and I'm saying that I am very proud of myself.
We also have
I
this.
first did it.
We have this. It's a Bluetooth vibrator.
Oh, that he can control from his phone.
But the thing is, it's a little difficult because like I have to have the app open. He has to have the app open.
Then
so
how do you see each other? Or I guess then you got to set up your laptop or your iPad or something.
Yes, but within the app you can chat.
Oh, okay.
Because we do that too. I mean, like, I guess that, you know what? That was my first intro to erotica.
What? Sexting?
Self-written erotica.
Bitch, that ain't the same.
I am an author. Thankfully for our listeners, you will not hear any of my self-written erotica because it's trash.
At least you know yourself.
Oh, no. Girl, we didn't. Whew. Yeah.
Yo, she's like reminiscing. She done bit her lip like that white man's overbite, the shit they do when they think they get it.
No, yeah. So, I definitely do some computer love. I've not been summoned at 4 a.m. to do computer love. I don't think. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, my sleep is precious, but I would do that that's hot. I would
Especially if your boo is out of town. Like,
yeah, see, my boo lives literally 3 minutes away.
so jelly.
I know. It's the best.
That's better than in-house supply because that nigga can go home and you can be in your own clean house.
Yeah, this is true.
When you want to
Although I
snuggle.
like him there. But yes,
It's
it is,
nice,
yeah.
but if you
We
like him there
still-
because you have the ability to have your own space.
Yes, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still early enough that it's nice, but it's very convenient. We can meet for lunch.
I know. Every time I'm like, I'm going to lunch. I'm like, I send her a text. Are you still at lunch? In quotes.
And I don't respond because I still be at lunch.
At lunch. Lunch.
It's fun times. Yeah.
Get your lunch on. Okay, so later in the story, did you read the
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, we read the whole story. So later in the story, I found it interesting. We didn't really go over this in our story, but I found it interesting the openness that they had with their submission. Remember the scene where he's at his mom's house and they were talking about, well, first that scene in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Although short, hot.
It was great. We considered doing that one, but it was too short.
Yeah. But just the whole
And it was in his mama house.
fucking in the bathroom. The trepidation she had about going to see his mom because she was like, oh, she thinks I'm a weak woman. And I'm just like,
That was
Oh,
interesting to think about what that dynamic looks like on the outside.
yeah.
Because I never really, I'm very much like, fuck what y'all doing. This is what I'm doing. But so that was a factor in their relationship for her to be thinking about that. I did think that was interesting.
Yeah, because to me, yeah, I'm definitely to an extent, a fuck what y'all doing kind of gal.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you still want the nigga mama to like
Yeah.
you, you know? And so I found that very interesting, and would like to see, maybe hear from some people. If you're in a dom sub relationship, how do you navigate vanilla
Yeah.
scenes?
That's interesting. Do you tone that shit down when you're around? Because he really didn't. He was just like, stop asking her about that.
Yeah.
We not doing this. It was very...
Because I feel like to an extent, it's just like, again, all relationships are the relationship. So, there is a level of service to one another, and I don't think anything would look too crazy or out of line. But, you get to a point where you're like, go sit down, and you go skirt in the corner.
Right. His mama like, the fuck?
Lord, when I tell you, my granny and aunts would be like, girl,
listen,
if you don't
right,
chill. So, yeah.
That is interesting. Another thing that happened, and I was thinking about it when you were talking earlier about how you have attempted to have this type of relationship with some men and found that they weren't the ones, was that, in the story, she talks about, and there's some flashbacks with her previous dom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great because I think Feminista does a great job of showing that there are lots of different ways that this can play out.
Yes.
And showing what it can look like when you're with somebody who is abusive and is not respectful of you and doesn't accept that gift that you're giving them in a healthy way.
They abuse it. Yeah. That's the scary part that you want to, that's like the dark side of it all, is like there are probably a lot of predators
right
looking around for some little, wide-eyed girl talking about, I want a dime. It's like, yeah, okay. And then I'll just use this as a ploy to abuse you. So that's scary.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen and read from some women, their entrance into these kinds of relationships have been with like really shitty guys. I think it's finding what works and, like kissing a bunch of frogs before you find your dom prince. And that is why, me being who I am, I'm like reading lots of books and doing my research and, how does this play in with my codependency, that kind of thing, because I don't want to go into it and end up in a really abusive, fucked up situation.
But I think the great thing is that, you have tools and you have people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as our therapists, we have the same therapist, as she always says. She's like, you're not the person that you were before. You've got all of these things, this knowledge, these tools, and you are also in a place where you're not doing that strong Black woman stereotype where you are able to be vulnerable with people who have earned that, and that you can go to those people when you need help if you find yourself in a situation with someone who has not earned it. So,
yeah,
I think that helps to take the fear out of the new shit.
Okay, so question for you. Kink question for you. What's your favorite, what's your instant, I'm sorry, I'm trying to snap my fingers, my nails are long. What's your instant pain, that's like a boop, it's on and popping?
Oh, I like a ton of nipple pressure. So I use nipple clamps. Like with a heavy chain, a chain that's like cold and it's heavy up against your body. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got into that very recently and was like, whoa. It's
like, for me, it was crazy. So my right nipple is like a little more sensitive than the left. Like I can feel it more. Not even it's more sensitive, but like that'll get me there. And it's literally, it's like a direct line from my right nipple to my pussy. It's insane. Like, you can push me over if you do it right. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, like a lot of pain. And in the past, things were like, "Are you sure?" I feel like I gotta be hurt. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm strong. Keep it moving.
Do what I told you.
Exactly. Don't ask me fucking questions. Just do it like you're trying to hurt me.
Okay.
And it'll be great.
All righty.
Yeah. What about you?
I like spankings. Like, throw me over your lap and go to town.
With a hand, with a paddle, with a crop.
I find paddles I feel like guys like paddles more because they feel like I'm not hurting you. But I appreciate a good hand.
I like a good hand. I have a paddle and a crop.
Leave me bruised and I am excited.
Yeah. Oh, see, I don't think I'm ever bruised. I can't see my ass, but
I like a bruise also because it's a later reminder of like, whew, child, that was wild.
Yeah, I had a. So remember I told you I didn't quite have time to have sex this morning, even though that was the plan. But we did have a whole spanking session that was very nice, and it was just hands.
See, yeah, like.
But I never do the lay across your that like makes me think of like I don't know,
child type
thing.
Yeah,
and that's too much for me. I can't. Yeah. But it was literally just he was on the couch, I was standing in front of him, I was talking about going to make breakfast, and it was just lots of play.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing, like
it pops up whenever.
Sex is more than just sticking it in and out. It's
we'll do that later, but this was just nice and fun.
Some sensual fun play, or not so sensual, just some smacking that ass.
Yes.
But yeah,
and my ass is like new, so it's like I'm enjoying.
You're like, wait, it's still wiggling even after the hand is gone,
right?
Yeah.
Listeners, new in that it has just gotten bigger, not in that I have paid for it, which I ain't got no problems with.
I know, I'm definitely trying to get this stomach taken out.
Are you really?
I would love to. And like, we went out of town this past weekend, and so I was like in the city of like fake bodies.
Yeah.
And you see like really bad jobs, and then you see like really good ones. And it's just like, wow. And the only reason, well, in my mind, the only reason that I felt like these were like jobs and not like I worked really hard for this was because like nothing about you says that I am in the gym all the time. Exactly. Like if you have really, and if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, but like ain't no way you in the gym every day with that fly ass pressed blowout and big fluffy healthy natural curls and then that flat ass stomach. Like, no, bitch. In order to get a stomach like that, you were sweating like a motherfucker. Yeah,
it's a work stomach, not I'm just a super little skinny thing stomach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so I saw some bodies that I was like, that would be nice. That would be very interesting.
Yeah,
but
especially if somebody else to pay for it.
I am also firmly in the I appreciate the body that I have now. I'm not gonna spend these days pissed about it or worrying about it or not appreciating it, because 10 years from now I'm gonna look back on this body and be like, damn.
Which I have never appreciated my body while I was in it. Like, I am just now finally being like, oh, bitch.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's like you don't know what you got till it's gone. And that's how it was about my body. And so now I'm like, you know what? This little tummy, fuck it. Y'all gonna get all this gut and all this motherfucking butt. Yeah. And my swimsuits, I was looking like a Luke dancer.
Yeah.
My shits are like super tiny.
Oh, I haven't seen. Are they the ones you got from that one site that we were looking at?
Oh, I got another one. I'll show. It's out there, but it's like tiny, and it is so cute, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, you see a little fupa, but you know what? Fuck it. That's that gush that niggas like.
Exactly. Beyonce got it. We got it too.
Right? Like, and also, I like a big guy, and so I spend my time worrying about my body, and I'm just like, you know what?
For fucking what? They ain't worried about that
exactly.
Shit.
And I appreciate a little muffin. So I know you gotta appreciate my little muffins.
Yes, absolutely.
But if we have any sponsors for this cool sculpt or lipo, we are still willing to take them. I'll take sponsorships, and then I'll be on this episode talking about, this was so great. I tried it, and it was fantastic. She will. You will, bitch.
It'd be an Instagram takeover.
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay.
I definitely feel like one of those wig companies. So we roll with a big crew of like amazingly smart and gorgeous bad bitches.
Mm-hmm.
I want like a wig company to like.
Oh, bitch, I got 3 wigs in my closet.
No,
I'm looking at yours up here.
That's my Prince wig. I want a wig company to like sponsor us so that we can like take like these fly like photo shoots and like lime green wigs, listening to Megan Thee Stallion. Talking about Simon Says, put your hands on your hips, hey.
Wait,
like,
how tall do you have
stuff.
to be a stallion? I'm guessing I'm firmly a hottie.
You're firmly a hottie. I think you have to be like 5'7" and above.
Oh God, I'm nowhere near that.
And
are you? How tall are you?
I think I'm 5. I say I'm 5'6", but to obtain stallion status, I would be willing to measure myself because I am a fucking stallion.
You are a stallion. That's not a fucking game.
Yeah, I love that girl.
Yay.
So, alrighty. So, are we it? Is that
This is it, y'all.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for
joining
joining us as we talk about dicks and shit again.
It's what we do.
This is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
y'all will hear from us next week. Hopefully you'll be back, right? You will be back.
You'll be back.
Because you love us.
You'll be back because you love us.
Already. We'll be back with another really dope story and an interview. We're actually going to talk with Feminsta Jones, who wrote Push the Button. She'll be back. She'll be here with us next week. That'll be dope. Until then, we are Kenry and Erica, two hoes making it clap. This episode was produced by us, Erica and Kenria, and edited by Ballistic. The theme song is from Brazy. Every 5-star review that you post on Apple Podcasts between now and July 31st, 2019 will be entered into a raffle to win a copy of one of the books that we read on the show. We need your help, and we're giving away 5 books. You just need to post your review and then email a screenshot of it to theturnonpodcast@gmail.com to enter. And please take a minute to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Twitter at The Turn On Pod and Instagram at The Turn On Podcast. And find links to books, transcripts, guest info, and other dope shit at theturnonpodcast.com. Peace.